essentials. Fantastic. So if anyone has any questions at any point, shout them at me. I'll do my best to answer. Has anyone been punting before? In Cambridge?
Yeah.
Was it on a tour?
Yeah.
The punting cell, okay.
Yeah. I don't remember much of it, other than the daylight robbery. That was about it.
Okay, yeah.
Not your prices, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Where the term comes from.
Yes, exactly. We're seeing 8 colleges today. There are 31 in total that make up Cambridge University. It's the second oldest university in the UK. Anyone know which one's older?
Oxford?
Yes. Ooh. Unfortunately, Cambridge University was founded by some students from Oxford. They've been accused of murdering a local lady in Oxford. They stayed in Oxford, they might have been hung, so instead they ran away to Cambridge and founded the university in 1209. So Cambridge University, founded by murderers. And not much has changed. An undergrad costs $9,250 to attend, same as any other English university. Your postgrad, an MBA and Masters in Business will set you back about $80K.
About this bridge. So you find about this one.
Just entering the first college of the day here. It's on both sides of the river. Founded by a lady called Margaret Beaufort. St John's College. Lady Margaret Beaufort's Benedictine grandmother. She died in 1509 and she left instructions in her will that she wants a college here. So her lawyer, John Fisher, he founded on her behalf in 1511. The fishy thing about John Fisher, he doesn't let anyone else see her will and names the college after himself. It's all a bit suspicious. St John's, when it was founded, was the largest and the wealthiest college. Today, both of these titles belong to Trinity. St John's is only worth a measly £750 million. As a heads up, I'll do politics on the way out. Otherwise, I have nothing to talk about on the way home. We pop out the bridge and keep an eye on my left, so in line with me, on the bridge itself.
Oh yeah, flood mark, look how high that goes.
Well, up to my nipples. And if you keep an eye on my right, directly behind me, on this side, you'll see my house. Are you joking? This is actually St John's New Court, 1831. Looks older than it is. Anyone hazard a guess what's useful?
Archives.
Archives. No, this is student bedrooms. The halls of residence, one of the fanciest halls of residence probably in the world. I'm too clever for Cambridge. I went to another one of the greats, I went to Plymouth. Top 90 out of 100, so very different.
Yep.
And then the architect, you call my right, was obsessed with symmetry. He wanted to make it entirely symmetrical. So symmetrical that used to be college door. If a student opened their bedroom window on one side, they then had to meet run across the other side to open the window. Keep them symmetrical at all times. And clock tower, but something important from this implement. Clock face, again the clock face would be symmetrical, didn't bother including one. Two things which are not symmetrical. We have a weather vane at the very top, and then an eagle above the archway. See the trees. The eagle has got its head turned away in disgust. This represents John's disgust, with Trinity sitting directly opposite it, as these two colleges have a rivalry.
She opened for the
Did she reply to that?
yeah, she did. Told you about it. She said, "What do I owe you?" I said, "1 million."
So everything on the left, Trinity College. 1546, founded by Henry VIII. It was intended to be his legacy. So to make his legacy as great as possible, he bestows the college all of his land and money. King's University as a whole today is worth £5 billion. And Trinity College takes up the lion's share of it. It's worth just shy of £2 billion. One of the largest landowners in the UK, only pretty much all in Cambridge city centre, the land surrounding it. It owns Felixstowe Docks. In 2009, it purchased the land under the O2 Dome in London for £260 million. They are the wealthiest college institution in the world.
It has a 999-year lease on the land with the arena. It owns 50% of all the land that Tesco's in Britain are currently built on, as well as owning land in New York, Dubai, Toronto, cities all around the world. It was also students studying here.
Have a go tours.
Sorry?
Have a go tours.
Yeah, they do they sell. They normally end up in the river.
No, that would be me.
Trinity College is where Isaac Newton studied. There's a student and a fellow here, 33 years in total. Fellow is just a fancy name for a teacher. Prince Charles did anthropology and archaeology here. He got a 2-2, his bodyguard got a 2-1. Before he arrived, he wrote a letter asking to be treated like any other student. So on his first day of college, he landed by the helicopter in the grass, am I right? Walks over the bridge behind me and into college, just like any other student. That's cheating.
It's also safe.
I think that's what we can.
The red brick building on my left, Trinity Hall. Nothing to do with Trinity College, just happens to have the same name. Founded by a priest in 1350. It's where Stephen Hawkins did his postgrad. So undergrad at Oxford, didn't enjoy it very much, and changed to come here to college.
by the end of the train station.
Nice.
How long did you stay with them
What worked for them? 10 years?
I remember when I come here with now, at the end,
Yeah.
all you
The
could see
trouble
is
is,
punks and
because they were like quite old school ones, but once you was like trained,
it looked like you couldn't get through, innit?
it was always seen as, like someone said it to me when I was there as a young lad, he said just do your apprenticeship and go somewhere else. I was an electrician. You should always be treated as like a young lad.
And this is Clare College on my left. Oldest one on the river, 1326, founded by a lady called Elizabeth Clare. She's like the original gold digger. She's got a nickname as Black Widow, was by the age of 26, widowed 3 times. So she married 3 of the wealthiest men in the UK at the time. All 3 of them died within 1 year of marriage and flew. So people believe that she's killing them off in order to get her cash. That cash then founded Clare College here in Cambridge. Where David Attenborough studied.
So basically, he cut what he thought was his money's worth out of the stone to sell it on to make his money back. They jump off a lot.
To look at
Yeah,
building
well, no, he's gone off to it now.
Mm.
He wants to be
Wow.
a design engineer. Design engineering, you know, like I think all the calculations on like building weights and all that sort of type of design. But like, say you want to know like a length of metal, how much stress it will take, what weight, whether it needs supporting, the rest of it.
We've got this postcard view of the city here. King's College Chapel. King's College founded by King Henry VI in 1441, a year after he founded Eton School for boys. So originally King's College was a finishing school for the boys who went to Eton. So he did something here called a gentleman's degree. So not very difficult, but drinking whiskey, smoking cigars and talking about life. You do not have to do any exams. Gentlemen do not have to do exams. So a bit like sports science today. The chapel is the second largest chapel in the world, after the Sistine in the Vatican. It took almost 100 years for it to be built over the reign of 5 kings. And during the Civil War, it was used as a stables. So Oliver Cromwell kept his horses there.
I hadn't even thought about it.
So this is Bodley's Court. So it's the nicest student accommodation that King's College has got to offer, completed in 1893. So originally to get a bedroom here, you had to be one of the top students in your second year to live in your third year. Way of trying to prove exam results. Nowadays it's done on a raffle. This entire building houses 28 students. Now 3 windows in a row here, 1, 2 and 3. That's the size of one set of rooms. So you get your living room, study, and a bedroom. You also get your evening meal cooked for you and your washing done for you. So you don't really grow up living here. I'm very jealous. Do you know those flood markings from earlier? So this white area here, that's the same flood from 1947. See how high it went. Following wall, that's an extension in the 50s, so after the floods.
Different from building products. That all still decent, that one 70 years started to blow.
Then we got the Erasmus building, the ugliest one on the river, as Christian did, designed by Sir Basil Spence. The Coventry Cathedral. Most importantly, Sir Basil Spencer went to Oxford University. So that explains why it's so ugly. He said he designed it to represent the trees on the opposite bank. So the vertical columns of windows are tree trunks, horizontal windows, tree branches, and those white beams at the top are the white skies of Cambridge. See a bit of a stretch. It's also grade 2 listed, classed as an excellent example of brutalism. So stuck here forever.
He's having a probably 60s building.
Yeah, this is what it was, Mum.
Okay, and Queen College and both sides of the river. Founded by Queen of Anjou. Her husband founded King's College, she founded Queen's next door. So his and her college, if you will. Where Stephen Fry went, claims the second Queen of Queen's College. It's a window that sticks out up on my left. Hasn't always been a window. It was originally Queen's College toilets. So the bottom you can see it straight down into the river.
Push down to keep the windows as well at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. I think so, yeah. That's a bit the difficult part, isn't it? Just think a few
Okay,
days
so this is the
time.
mill pond. There used to be a mill above the rear there, Kingsman, so a bit like bread. I was taken down in 1929. White balcony building up to my right, that's Darwin College. So that's Charles Darwin's son's house. When he died, he left it to university as well. Has anyone got any questions at all?
Where's the bar? Big up to that bar. Stood open in the fields there. Drinking on my breakfast.
Sorry?
You can stretch your legs out. You can stretch your legs out a bit. That place looks nice, isn't it?
Very forward.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of a chart in the centre.
Some of it, I know. So
So we need to go next time.
wedding
We want to
Yeah.
hire a punt out.
Yeah, yeah. I've got it on video anyway. It's still going, my phone.
Is it?
Yeah, it's got a big memory, this phone. This phone's better than the other one.
But it's all really cheap. The university wants you to stay in your college for 3 years. So they subsidise it. Most will spend a week here for the month week. Most of the time that includes food as well.
One way down. Van Morrison.
The red brick building, just see on my right, oldest building on the river, 1460, called the President's Lodge. President's the head of college. All colleges, apart from kings and queens, have a master as the head of college. Kings and queens do not, cannot be a master of a king or a queen. The queen's got a president who lives here. The king's got something called a provost. In a second, on the wall on my right is coming up some little windows there, some window taps. The belief was rich people could have big windows. The bigger windows you had, the more money you had to pay to get around this. To fill them in, made them small. So you get daylight robbery from today. Okay. And wooden bridge behind me is real name is the wooden bridge. Oh, these guys there. I'll go on your left. I'll go on your left. Real name is the wooden bridge. Got a nickname as the mathematical bridge due to a story that Isaac Newton designs a bridge here. It hasn't got any nuts and bolts in it. All held together with the sum of mathematics. Hence the name mathematical bridge. And then one day, some ancient Egyptians, they want to figure out how to achieve this mathematical feat. So they take down the bridge, but they weren't clever enough. So they have to duck with nuts and bolts. So this is the story. Thousands of people from around the world come in these punts to see Newton's bridge and hear me tell it. And it's just a load of rubbish. And Newton's never designed a bridge in his life. It's always looked like that. Just a story invented by punters like myself. Give us something to talk about. Otherwise it's just a boring little wooden bridge.
I wonder what it looks like when it's flooded.
Yeah. Ooh.
Like when we went to Scotland, when that seawall, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When the tide was out. And I've seen the pictures on the computer when it's stormy, the waves come right over that seawall, wasn't it?
Goodness me.
People get washed away. Remember that seawall we went on? It was stormy. That was
Oh
mad,
yeah,
wasn't it?
that was funny. That was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Have a long somewhere stop. It's a nice day tomorrow, isn't it?
It is supposed to be actually, isn't it?
The white building on the right kind of looks like Donald Trump's house, the White House.
Fine.
So this man designed this building, a man called James Gibbs. He wrote a book, the Book of Architecture. This book made its way across the pond to America, and the architects of the White House they based designs of this book. So it's older than it looks. So it's 1732. This building.
Pip's forgot the speaker and everything else. I'm trying to think better to open the ice things. The dustbin's on the front. Do you reckon it's worth opening the ice? I reckon we keep one ice bag or two ice bags.
Hey Joe.
Bridge ahead of us, architect Thomas Brumble. He was a raging alcoholic, and he got his measurements a bit wrong. So as you can see, if you look at it, the left side is lower than the right, which has been stretched correctly. Because of this, he wasn't paid properly, he wasn't paid enough. So if you look at the balls along the top, the second ball from the left has got a chunk of stone missing from it. He took a chunk of stone from this ball equal to the amount of money he 1442 code. This bridge dates to 1638. It's the oldest surviving bridge on the river. During the English Civil War, Oliver Cromwell uses Cambridge as a stronghold. To protect the city, he knocks on every bridge apart from this one. So he used the river Cam as a natural defence. And he left this bridge because he kept his horse in the chapel. So he'd ride straight over the bridge and then into the chapel.
Knock down all the bridges.
Normally this is a bit prettier, having 20 million quid restoration of Clare College on the right. So they're going to build a temporary bridge where we are now, pop a crane on it, and take supplies from that side if they want to that side. In about a month's time, if there's punts running still there, it's going to look very different.
You're going to put the crane on the bridge.
Yeah, bridge. Yeah.
Just get a bigger crane and just put it there.
Yeah, that'd be sensible, wouldn't it? Yeah, hold it high enough as well, otherwise we'll have to dump it down low.
Didn't even get that right, did I?
No.
One of my colleagues has lost their collar.
Oh yeah.
Nice, isn't it? This video looks really cool. Oh, look at all them geese. Yeah, look at all them geese. You alright?
We have a on my right, designed by Christopher, same bloke who did St Paul's Cathedral in London. Nothing on the ground floor. All the books are stored in one massive room on the first floor. So this is the books and the floods that used to happen here. They've got nothing. Yeah, sorry. The works include some poems by Lord Byron, some original manuscripts by William Shakespeare, Isaac Newton's personal copy of Principia Mathematica, and most importantly, the first published edition of River Pooh. A. Milne, the author, studied here at Trinity College.
My left hand is from Trinity College. Trinity's the network, the richest one, the biggest one. They've got about 1,000 students, pretty much all maximum. There's no official ranking. They're saying the teaching is the same wherever you go. You live in the college, the lectures will happen communally outside. But Trinity is still seen.
There's some bells going. Go.
Did I win first go to Lucy?
mixed thing was about a month ago, wasn't it? Beginning of August. Yeah, it was beginning of August. Birthday. And it was a couple of months before that. About 3 months ago. We was when I laid patio for him, wasn't it? Went back that evening.
But not the first time I met him, and then when we went round to have a fun, that was your birthday.
Yes, it was, yeah.
So that was June the...
You know what?
Did we actually go on your birthday? 27th? So,
I think it pretty much was, wasn't it?
actually it was Saturday night,
It was my birthday.
the 27th of June, July, August.
2.5 months.
I'm thinking.
There's two bridges in St John's. This one's a kitchen bridge. So the kitchen used to be the gate from the outside. The kitchen survived Grove Bridge, making this kitchen kind of boring name. There are two goat things up top right hand side. So these are called Yale.
Ever since
Spelled like
1831 when
American
it was
University.
constructed.
They are the mythical creatures that guard the royal family. Two horns in their head, both faced in opposite direction. In battle, these rotate to protect the king or queen. Second bridge is the most famous bridge in the river. Take your photos on this side, and this is the bridge side. It's the bridge of Science, originally called the New Bridge to go to New Court on the left. All finished at the same time in 1831. And then Queen Victoria came to stay, and standing on the kitchen bridge behind me, looking at this new bridge. She said it looked like the bridge of Sighs in Venice. Must have been blind, but it doesn't. But no one wanted to argue with the Queen, so instead we just changed the name from the New Bridge to the Bridge of Sighs. If you have a look, there's all a sort of fencing and spikes all the way along the bridge. This is to stop students from escaping at night. There's a lot of them in student accommodation. But if you have to look at the top left, there's one spike missing up there. That's where students just climb out in the middle of the night, go up and do all kinds of things. And it's the back of the bridge here, so it's the ugly side. This is the side that poor people will be going to look at, tradespeople. There's no point decorating a bridge for a poor person. They've even popped a drain pipe in the middle of it. The whole of the wall here at water level was originally a swan trap. So they popped some bait into it, swans to swim in, put them on the dinner table. It doesn't happen anymore, unfortunately. The white building is Scripps Court. It's the first building in Cambridge designed with the aid of a computer. Prince Charles opened it, said it looked like a multi-story car park. On the grand opening, yeah.
I guess that tactfulness from your father.
Morley College, last college of the day, begins at the Willow Tree, all the way down as far as you can see, where J.R.R. Tolkien went, C.S. Lewis. It's also infamous, they're the last college in Cambridge to let women into it. The men took to really well. They hold a funeral to education. So they march to town centre, all dressed in black, carrying a coffin full of books and shouting that education is dead. And this happened in 1988. So not very long ago. After all these men will be CEOs of companies and politicians. I'm sure they'll do something. then last bridge of the day, Magdalen Bridge. There's somewhere in this area, King Arthur built a little wooden bridge here. It's a bridge over this river. So in Saxonese or Saxon language, what we call it,
So this is down Maria, to my left.
the river was
And if you have any
Canter,
time
a bridge is Breda, so Canter Breda. We translate it into today as Cam Bridge, Street Bridge. That's where we get the name of the city from.
That's good, I enjoyed that.
Little bump in a second. There it is.